play like it's a scrimmage, my boy. Now you see why I stay so focused on my vision, my boy. I did a year of county time fighting that case, my boy. Long hair, nails, beard, skinny face, my boy. So baby, I forgot how good her pussy tastes, my boy. That's why I fuck her like I ain't got time to waste, my boy. I'm getting money, I ain't got no fucking ops, my boy. I ain't gotta chase a bitch, look at my watch, my boy. Polo shirt, pants, drawers, and socks, my boy. And I got flavor so the baddest bitches flock, my boy. Nigga, my first baby mama was a 10, my boy. These nigga first baby mama Shrek twin, my boy. I'm really him and never been one of them, my boy. But at the same time, I'm really one of them, my boy. Don't let that go over your head, pay attention, my boy. Let me reiterate in case I didn't mention, my boy. This is greatness in the flesh, you get to witness, my boy. And I still scrape a nigga plate and wash the dishes, my boy. Get it? Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. Okay, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. It's a nigga out here breathing fucking with me, my boy. You can believe that shit or not, like Ripley's, my boy. I used to like the Mr. Waukee with the Simply, my boy. But please don't crack no seal around me, it's gon' tempt me, my boy. I love the taste, it make me feel so good, my boy. I was designer dope fiending in the hood, my boy. I put that cup down for the greater good, my boy. It's Don Julio, Rasposado, Red Bull, my boy. Bitch, I'm a ballad, I ain't never been a mark, my boy. Cut from a cloth for real niggas that got heart, my boy. I was taught to never talk to the lost, my boy. You got a better chance out swimming jaws, my boy, than to catch me in a nigga paperwork, my boy. I'd rather take that long nap in the dirt, my boy. That ain't designer weed you smoking, that's that dirt, my boy. You start to climbing on your name, they throw that dirt, my boy. White boy, she some F, Joe Dirt, my boy. The whole earth is my motherfucking turf, my boy. I'm that nigga in the city, ain't no question, my boy. Nobody fucking with me, ain't no second guessing, my boy. It's DoobIe. Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. Nigga, this Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. I got nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. Nigga, this what we on, give a fuck what they on. You know what I'm saying? I got too hype. Yo, I got too hype. I was about to jump through the roof of this motherfucker.
Hey, we in the building, man. We in the building. Hey, this Flamingo Fred, the Bird of Paradise podcast, Pink Hollywood. Hey, we got Big DoobIe in the motherfucking building, though. What's good?
What up, though?
Hey, man, you know, we chilling, we vibing. We appreciate you coming through, you know, and the whole shit.
I appreciate you having me, family. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So, hey, tell them where you from and where you holding it down, your whole shit, DoobIe.
Well, you know, it's the one and only No Phony, Mac without the motherfucking Roni, man. Your boy Big DoobIe, hailing from Phoenix, Arizona, man. Live and direct.
Yeah, most definitely. And I've been up here, like I said, in Oregon. I know you've been down there with my bro Trap. Shout out Trap. And y'all been moving and grooving and doing your shit. But you know, I've been seeing your movement from up here in Oregon, man. You know, social media, the whole shit. And you really down there pushing and doing your thing.
Hell yeah, man. Ain't no other way, man. Like, you know, just like any other business endeavor that I've ever gotten into, I take it seriously. So this is no different for me, man. We pushing a hard line.
Yeah, you pushing a hard line. You know, I think you got the city popping, your name ringing. You know how that shit go. How'd you get started with the music shit? How'd you get started with the music shit?
Well, you know, like I always been a dope ass rapper. You know what I'm talking about? Like even back in school and shit, in high school, middle school, like I started writing raps as a little kid, just listening to like Bone, fucking Timbaland and Magoo and Missy. That was really like 3-6 Mafia. That's the type of shit that made me want to write raps myself, because like I used to recite them and I used to see how excited people used to get for me just reciting another artist's lyrics as a kid. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, man, I can do this shit too, type shit. So I started writing raps young, but I never tried to pursue artistry. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I didn't try to pursue, like, I didn't drop my first song until December of 2019. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's the first time I ever dropped a song, was the day after Christmas 2019. I dropped a little I'm Illy challenge video. And
shit, it's been up ever since. The pandemic hit right after that, of course, 2020. So, I never had no Instagram, none of that shit prior to that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have no social media. Nigga, I was on flip phones. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
it just wasn't, like, social media just wasn't something that aligned with the type of life that I was living. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah, I feel it.
I wasn't like that just wasn't it. So I didn't know how to use it. I didn't even really know what Instagram was prior to 2020. I just thought it was a app where motherfuckers just went and posted pictures of selfies and shit all day. So I was really turned off. Like, man, I'm not no selfie nigga. I'm not taking selfies, buddy. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Hey, real shit. Cause to be honest with you, I was sitting at AZ and I had the Boost mobile phone and I'm
Mhm.
moving and grooving in the streets and doing my thing. And I remember I had to look up, I'm an NBA fan, so I'm looking up the little NBA on the little web browser. You feel me? Could barely see it. I wasn't fucking with no social media, nothing. I was like, motherfuckers had Facebook and all this shit. And I was like, man, for what? But as I
Yeah.
start pushing the music harder and doing everything, I hopped on social media and then my shit kind of just went up for people seeing me. But I always kind of been sociable and in the mix, and but I was just like, man, social media, man, that shit is corny.
Yeah, and I was on that same type of time. Like, I was in the streets. Like, if I want to see somebody, I'm gonna meet them in person. Type shit is the type of energy I was on. So, but like you said, when I started doing music, the people around me that I was listening to was like, "Nigga, you cannot be a rapper and not have Instagram." I was like, "Oh, for real?" Like, I ain't know that shit. So I started at IG, and I was just like, "Fuck it." I guess I'll set a goal for try to earn at least 1,000 followers a year. I felt like if I get
Yeah.
1,000 followers a year, that shows me that I'm growing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, without buying none of that weird shit. Niggas in my inbox asking me to buy followers and shit. Like, I always thought that shit was cheesy. You know what I'm talking about? Like, when I see a nigga account 10, 15, 20,000 followers, but you ain't got one video over 1,000 views on your shit. Well, how that makes sense? You know what I'm talking about? Like, that
You
shit don't make no sense. So I never just wanted to do no cheesy shit. I felt like I can get it out the mud either way. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
you
so
seen that shit they had somebody just sent it to me today, Meg the Stallion, but it was like she bought a couple million spins or some shit. I forget what number it was, but they about to start cracking down on that type of shit.
yeah, and I just, luckily, I wasn't around during the wave where I guess that shit was cool because I see a lot of motherfuckers with the fake numbers and shit. But like I said, I wasn't hip to that shit. I wasn't loopy in regards to social media, so I missed that whole wave. Like, I came in on some, this the way I want to do this shit, and like, how can I really gauge if I'm growing if I'm faking this shit? You know what I'm talking about? So
Real
we just
shit.
been grinding, man, ever since the pandemic. We've been on the grind.
But I think that's a vibe because I said something not long ago. Real motherfuckers gonna hop out in traffic and go and say they spill or what they gonna say, whether it's they sales pitch, or whatever else. And I think the motherfuckers that can do better is motherfuckers that did that shit in real life. Now we in an era where a lot of motherfuckers ain't never really was outside moving and grooving and doing nothing, and now they on the internet, with a whole persona.
Yeah, that's a
You
fact
know,
too. A lot
so
of a lot of corny niggas got popular because of the internet. A lot of niggas who, when niggas had to be outside, you niggas was standing over there twiddling your thumbs. You niggas wasn't getting no bitches. You niggas wasn't having no money. You niggas was dorks. And then the internet came around, and now you can pretend you was something that you ain't. And
yeah.
I see that shit too. I know some of you niggas. I knew you niggas before the internet, man. You niggas was cornballs.
Hey, that's real shit, and that's why motherfuckers like it's so easy because, like, man, I'm outside. Motherfuckers know me. I've been in the mix and running my mouth and laughing and playing and having fun and doing my thing. So some motherfuckers will see like, oh man, they see you have success on the internet. I'm like, man, no, motherfucker, I really get outside and talk to motherfuckers and do this and been all through the West Coast and over here and over there and
Yeah.
outside and shit like that.
Yeah, man. I definitely spent my late teens to mid 20s traveling the country. You know what I'm talking about? Like state to state with mine, getting the bag in all these different places. Me and my team, like we was outside. Like it just we didn't have the luxury of the internet or the disadvantage, if you want to even call it a luxury. It's more of a disadvantage to a lot of these young niggas and these young people in general that trade they outside experiences for the internet. You know what I'm talking about? Like I wouldn't trade that shit for anything. Like my time outside, like when the world was really outside and you had to get out to interact with people, I feel like it was the best time. Like the clubs was better, the
It was a
parties was
vibe.
better, everything was better, nigga. Even the drugs was better. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? I
nah,
feel like
real
niggas is
shit.
on computer drugs nowadays.
Yeah, nah, real shit. Hey, and on the side note, fucking with Trap, your ass gonna be outside. Then, hey, Trap will keep you outside for forever. And
Man,
hey,
that's where I
hey,
met the nigga. I met the nigga outside. You know
hey,
what I'm
hey,
talking
Trap, hey, Trap. I mean, I'm a talking sociable motherfucker, but that nigga Trap, he gonna be everywhere.
about?
Trapper had you at 5 places in the night, falling asleep in the whip. After a long night, we done went from the club to the motherfucking after party to the after hours and the whole shit.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah, niggas was activated, man. Shout out Trap. Shout out the whole OTS movement, man. That's how I met them boys. We was doing club promotions, the DoobIe
Mm,
boys. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And them niggas was coming in the club, you know, turning up with niggas, and that's how we been locked in since what? That was what 2009, 2010 type shit. Like,
Yeah. I remember that. I remember when y'all was throwing I was sliding through AZ at that point. I remember when y'all was doing the functions and the you know what I mean?
yeah,
I
the
always used
Doobie
to hear
Qs.
doobie, 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 doobie. I remember that.
Yeah, man.
So y'all been holding it down. What's the next step where you trying to take shit? What's the next goal for you?
Really just to keep leveling up, like, you know, to make sure that we in a better place. We growing every year. Like I don't have no specific like, okay, I need to be this at this or this at this. Like the consistency. My goals is to remain consistent. You know what I'm talking about? No matter what it is, to continue to learn and to stay consistent. Like I know that whatever's coming to me is going to come. Like I know that all the work that I'm putting in, I'm going to really be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor soon. But I'm not in no rush for it though. Like I said, this is only year 4. We ain't even hit 5 years at this shit yet. And I've
Yeah,
already, you know what I mean, far exceeded the expectations that I have for myself or that I even see of the average independent artist. You know what I'm talking about? Like I know niggas who've been doing this shit 15, 20 years and haven't accomplished some of the shit that I accomplished. Not to say that I've done a whole bunch of shit, but I know that I've been consistent for the past 4 straight years. You know what I'm talking about? Like I ain't take no time off. I ever since I started. You know what I mean? Like this is my career. This is my business. So I don't understand taking breaks and shit. Like I can't. I haven't got to a point where I feel like I've earned the right to take a break. You know what I'm talking about?
mm-hmm.
Like would have the first 4 5 years McDonald's was in business, they ain't make the kind of money they wanted to make. They wanted to take a break for a year or two and then come back. Like, no, you got to stay at it to get to where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just pray that I'm able to continue to stay consistent. That my life continues to align with me chasing my goals. Like, there's always obstacles. There's always things that make a nigga feel like, man, I need to get back to this bag. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
because I completely gave the streets up when I started music. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah,
I knew that I couldn't do both. Like me doing just researching the industry, researching and me being a student of the game, that's a lesson that I always heard from people that I looked up to. Like, you can't really do both, my nigga. Not at that level. Not, you know what I mean? The type of hot
yeah,
ass shit. You know what I'm talking about? It'll be too much attention on you. You won't be able to. Part of that other life is the ability to stay low key. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
most
so
most definitely.
being in the public eye is the opposite of being low key. So
Yeah, like we always say, growing up, and I know you seen the same shit. We done seen so many people, you know, take L's in the streets. Like they say, the streets don't love nobody. And I always tell my partners, like, man, I remember I was at AZ and I'm running the Orange County. I'm running the AZ. I'm in LA, and I'm making, I'm making big money, but I'm up here now in Oregon, and sometimes like, man, I want to go get in traffic and I want to go over here, man. But I got a son now, and I got to think like, man, I'm glad I'm glad I kind of got out the way, because you start getting to a point where you start feeling invincible. You know
Yeah,
what I
bro.
mean? And you making so much money, things going your way, you start feeling invincible. And you know how the streets go. All it takes is to bump into the wrong situation and somebody
Yeah.
watching your movement, man. And now you know what I mean? Now you got
You
to make
get
a
put on
couple
your
phone
back
calls.
pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it happened to me. Like I literally went through that stage where I thought I was invisible. I would say I thought I was invincible and I thought I was invisible. Both. You know what I'm talking about? Like I
Mm,
thought niggas couldn't see me and niggas couldn't touch me. I thought the police couldn't touch me. I used to say dumb shit that I knew was gonna come back and bite me in the ass, but I just was so over arrogant. Like you said, like so many years of success doing that shit, making so much cheese, state to state. You know what I mean? Niggas, everybody showing you so much love, you get treated like a king everywhere you go, type shit. Like you know what I mean? Like I used to say dumb shit and do dumb shit, and then God had to sit me on my back pockets and let me know, like, nigga, you can be touched. And if you keep doing this dumb shit, this is where you going. This is one of the outcomes for you. You either gonna end up dead or in jail. And I said my ass almost lost my life to jail. 50
mm,
plus years they was trying to get me. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas would have never knew shit about me. You know what I'm talking about?
mm.
if you if you ain't meet me prior to 2007, you'd have never met me, nigga. 50 years later, I'd have met niggas. Talking about 50 years, nigga. So sitting down, fighting that case, winning, getting a second chance. You know what I mean? Like I just knew, like, all right, it's time to start moving different. Even though I didn't stop doing what I was doing, but that's not what got me in that situation. You know what I'm talking about? Like it was
Yeah.
something as a branch off to that, but it was not actually that. You know what I'm talking about? Like me hustling is not what had me fighting a charge. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
it was just something that went with that life. You know what I'm talking about? So
Yeah, it's not like, for me, I was like, man, actually I didn't have no problems. And I think part of the reason why I didn't have no problems is because I kind of rolled by myself and my little people, you know what I mean? I didn't have no problems and I was good. I didn't have nothing, but you start looking back, like you see motherfuckers, like you could say somebody in the NBA like Ja Morant, like if you would have had too much success too early, how would have managed that shit? Like that shit is scary looking back. Like, man, what if I'd have had 25 million or this and that? I might have destroyed myself. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
man, that's what I'm saying. Like even imagine being a young nigga from the hood, you 18, 19, 20 years old with a couple 100,000, nigga, in the mid 2000s. You know what I'm talking about? Like that was life. You know what I'm talking about? And that shit is even being 100,000 there. Like I can only imagine being a millionaire, nigga. Like I don't know, who knows, nigga. I'd have probably ended it all. You know what I'm talking about? Like I'd have crashed out. You know, I ain't
Man,
gonna
that's
lie
what
to you, nigga.
gone.
A couple 100,000 had me walking around this bitch acting like I could walk on water. You know what I'm talking about? So I understand, like, but like I said, when I made the decision to pivot and get serious and do music, this is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? So all the money I make is legit now, just in case the punks is watching. You know what I'm talking about? All the money
Most
I make is
definitely.
legit, 100% legit, man. And we gonna continue to do it until this music is paying for everything. You know what I'm talking about? Like right now, I still got to do what I got to do. I got to work. I gotta get money. You know what I'm talking about? Like this shit ain't free. This is an expensive business. You know what I'm talking about? Like this shit is an expensive ass endeavor to get into. If you taking this shit serious, if you an entrepreneur, you looking to start your business, build your brand, nigga, that shit ain't cheap and it
At
ain't
all.
free. Only you
Mm-mm.
weird niggas think you finna skate through this shit for the free ball, and that's why you niggas is stagnant. You know what I'm talking about? Like feeling like a disgruntled rapper, wondering why niggas that you might have more talent than is surpassing you. even niggas in the industry, niggas see niggas, man, I'm better than this, and I'm better than that. But your business ain't better than dogs. You know what I'm talking about? Like you ain't.
Facts.
He got better business sense than you do. He got more hustle than you do, and he must have had a little money behind him. He understood that it took some money to make some money. A lot of these niggas think they gonna make a song, somebody gonna hear it and come and change their life. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's just the reality of the average independent artist, rapper especially. You know what I'm talking about? Like they think they gonna make a song, put that shit on their social media, tag every friend that they know, tag every friend that they got on their friends list, and somebody gonna magically hear it. Somebody gonna get it that let somebody hear it that knows somebody that knows somebody. And they gonna be like, who is that? I need to go get that nigga $1 million.
Never.
That's why these niggas really think in their mind, and that's how they move too. Like it's not just that they think that this is how they operate as an artist, as a rapper, as a entertainer. This is how they operate. They just drop these songs. They don't put no marketing, no promotion behind it. They think that their social media is finna change their life, and they sadly mistaken. You know what I'm talking about? These niggas don't move around. Niggas don't go out of town. Niggas don't push their brand in front of nobody. So it don't matter what you think here. Like, what's the perception of the masses? What are you? Niggas don't even know you breathing air, let
At
alone
all.
that you rap. You know what I'm talking about? So
And that go back to that shit we were saying earlier. Like, one of my favorite people that wasn't even the dopest rapper at all. Really, niggas was clean as clock, but it was Master P. P was,
oh
man,
yeah,
I watch that documentary all the time. You know what I mean? The No Limit Chronicles is just because they got a lot of game from the bass shit, but motherfuckers is sleeping on getting out in traffic with
yeah.
your materials and going to push your line.
Yeah, man. It ain't no other way. Like I don't even understand. Like I said, like that's just when I see that in an artist, or it lets me know that they don't have their business together. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's all that it just it don't matter, nothing else matters. Like I just know you don't have your business together if you not willing to take your show on the road and expand your brand. You know what I mean? Like niggas be too concerned with trying to be the local hero, you know what I'm talking about, which don't amount to a fucking hill of beans. So and they don't, they get stuck there. Niggas get stuck in that local dominance battle or whatever the fuck it may be. And then they come to that realization once they reach that point where they realize that shit don't matter, or they don't even reach that point that they was looking for. They done wasted 5, 10, 15 years not moving the right way. You know what I mean? Not conducting their business the right way. And, now they ready to quit and go get that CDL. You know what I'm talking about? Which, hey, some niggas
Hey,
got to hang it up.
hey, how is it, holding it down and putting on for Arizona? Because I done been out there in the scene and everything else. How is it holding it down? And you had the article that came out today, and I put the same title on the video. You putting shit on the map. How is it, putting shit on the map down there?
It's dope. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I'm the only one. I feel like there's a collective of dope ass artists from Arizona that's really pushing the line. And then we got some artists that have pushed the line. Like you look at Futuristic, you know what I'm talking about? Like Willie North Pole pushing the
Mm-hmm.
line. He back activated. The Richie Evans, fucking Merkham's, you know what I'm talking about? Like
Mm-hmm.
I see niggas who getting outside and moving around and touching these different cities and states and really pushing this banner. You know what I'm talking about? Look at Rum Nitty, the shit that he doing. Even though it's battle, it's still a light that he still bring a light to AZ. You know what I'm talking about? Like one of the brightest lights. You know what I'm talking about? That we
Yeah.
got come from Rum Nitty too. So. You know what I mean? Like we all really fuck with each other. Like all the Art of Rico bands, I see him
Mm-hmm.
shaking and moving. You know what I mean? Like the artists that are really pushing the line and working, we everybody really tied in and we push each other's agenda. You know what I'm talking about? Like when I drop them niggas share, when they drop our share, like I'ma show love, I'ma support and it them niggas encourage me to go harder. You know what I'm talking about? Like that this shit is not for null and void. That I don't feel like I'm the only nigga putting on for us nationally. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's quite a few of us that are like, look at my nigga Yante, like he doing shit all over too, different cities, different states. I see niggas, I know who is, you know what I mean? Like who really pushing that line. Like Scrooge Boy and them just went on tour with Unconventional Kings. That was super dope that they took them all over the country. You know what I'm talking about? Like I see it. You know, it's niggas who out here who really doing it. For me, I'm loving it. You know, I love going to a new city and a new state and niggas introduce me and be like, from Phoenix. And then niggas get to looking at me crazy like, Phoenix? Like, you know how many times I done went Atlanta, New York, niggas like, oh, niggas rap out there? Like, nigga, we rap out here and we better than you. You know what I'm talking about? Like that be my mentality. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Like I'm ready to come in here and take niggas' heads off, and the fact that I know AZ got my back and they trust me with that task, they know. You know, if Big DoobIe gonna go and I'm gonna put on, nigga, I'm gonna make us look good. I ain't finna go out here and have us looking goofy, nigga. So AZ got my back when I carry that AZ flag because I make us look good, nigga. I'm a good representation of who we are and dope shit coming from where we from type shit. So I love it, nigga. I love going to a city and these niggas, you know, Big DoobIe, man, he coming all the way out here from Phoenix, Arizona. Niggas clapping like, damn, that's like, cause I already know it's the same everywhere I go, my nigga. I'm gonna walk in, I'm gonna be the biggest nigga here for sure. Nobody's up here breathing this air with me at 6'7". You know what I'm talking about? I'm 6'7" in real life, nigga.
Mm.
So I'm the biggest nigga. I'm fresh as fuck. You know what I mean? And I'm looking good, feeling good, I'm smelling good. And niggas is trying to see who is that? Who the fuck is dog? They don't know if I'm some kind of label nigga. They don't know if I'm an artist. They don't know what the fuck is up. You know, some niggas will get brave and come holler at me. Some motherfuckers gonna watch me from the distance. Niggas and bitches, it's all the same. You know what I'm talking about? And then they call me to that stage, say where I'm from. Soon as I start talking, I'm demanding everybody attention. It's a lion's roar coming across the microphone. You know what I'm talking about? I sound like a grown ass man. You know what I'm talking about? So when I talk, niggas, listen, I'm gonna get your attention immediately. Yeah, nigga, coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona, the desert, nigga. I am the big cactus. Be prepared to be amazed around this bitch. That's how I feel on the inside, my nigga. Like I be so overconfident. I don't care who's in the building, who's on the bill, who rapping. I don't give a fuck. If nigga, this is a measuring stick, I'm about to be better than everybody here. And I don't never doubt it. I don't give a fuck who coming, what you coming to do, what you coming to show. I'm gonna let you niggas know that AZ is the best, and this is why. Blah 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 blah. Blah. I'm gonna talk that superior shit. You know what I'm talking about in a dope way that you niggas ain't never heard. And once I come off the stage, I'm gonna get the same reaction. Nigga, you is that. Nigga, I'm gonna get it's gonna be the same. And I can say this shit with confidence. There's nobody that's ever seen me in any city or state that won't vouch that this is exactly what the fuck happens every time. And it's the same thing that happens in Arizona. It's been like that since I started. Like I know, nigga, I'm coming in here to show why I'm one of the dopest niggas breathing air. You know what I'm talking about? And I never waver on that shit. And it works for me because I believe it and it's true. I got that blue magic. It's that good dope. You know what I'm talking about?
Most definitely. You know, I was just hollering at Millie, you know, shout out Millie. And you know, niggas talk about the scene or different shit like that. It's like, you know, I think what niggas need to start doing is, man, hey, and you know, it's hard as a motherfucker to get people to work together, and that's anywhere. Niggas will give a shout out and do this, and that, but getting some, you know what I mean, some motherfuckers to work together is hard. But I'm like, man, maybe motherfuckers need to come and throw it, you know, throw a stack in the pot and push something every 3 months or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. I don't have a solution, but you know, some of my people, you know, some of your people, and we had these conversations. I'm tapped in to the Arizona scene. It's like, what is the solution to keep pushing it forward? You know, and I think I was just sitting here thinking to myself, like, okay, Willie, all these different people, like, why don't niggas, you know, 10, 15 niggas come put a stack in the pot and go push something every 3 months.
Yeah, man, that's a good idea. And that's not something that's not like on the floor or not even stuff that's haven't been discussed. Like I was in the studio with Judge, Floss, Young Bookie, and we had this kind of conversation. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just, it's just niggas is really trying to, establish themselves and get the motion going for themselves. But we all are fucking with each other. Like you're gonna hear us all on projects together. Like I'm gonna be on Merkham's new project. I'm gonna be on Richie Evans' new project. I'm gonna be on Rico Band's new project. Like we will be working together. The next shit that I had J Rob the Chief. Shout out J Rob the Chief. He another one of the ones that's really showing us how we supposed to move as independent artists. But I had him on the biggest cactus, and on the biggest cactus too, you gonna see these names of these artists that we all fuck with each other. We that is something that we doing. You know what I mean? Like there's no instruction manual to this shit. So we still learning this shit as we go. And then it's not like we had a lot of shining ass examples coming from where we from. So we picking up game and learning shit from other shit, and we come and apply it to help our region. And we continuing to do so. So we working together though. Like there's no beef, there's no animosity in our scene. And that's one of the things that people always want to talk about the shit that we lacking or we might not have, but I like to talk about the positive shit. None of the top dogs in our scene is beefing with each other. You know what I'm talking about? Like
That's
nobody
fire.
that's really doing nothing there is no beef, there's no animosity, and if niggas is hating, they keeping that shit to themselves. You know what I'm talking about? Like I don't feel like I get no hate at all. You know what I'm talking about? Like and any nigga that hated on me, he don't even rap no more. You know what I'm talking about? That's a fact. Niggas hating on me, they done, they retired, they washed. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't see it from nobody, you know what I mean? That ain't no personal shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like ain't no weird bickering or none of that weird shit going on type shit. So the fact that we already got that foundation of no smoke, you know what I mean? Different hoods working with each other and all that type of shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's really unity in the community out here. It's just we just have to get better at showing that unity
Yeah.
to the rest of the
Hey,
world.
shout out Arizona Reggie one time in the building. Reggie and there, Mike Honcho talking that shit and messing with us. He in the building. But yeah, that's a good
This
outlook on
nigga
shit.
crazy. I just
Hey, you
started
see
looking
this?
at the
Hey, you
comments.
see Reggie? Hey, Honcho. Hey,
yo,
hey,
this
shout
nigga
out
crazy.
Arizona Reggie, aka Mike Honcho, and whatever else they call him. You know what I mean? South of the border.
Yeah, man, this nigga crazy talking about we twins, man. I'm not even about to look at that shit. This nigga crazy. Nigga
Hey.
laughing, bud.
Hey, shout him out. But nah, that's real shit. And I think that's a dope way to look at shit. A lot of motherfuckers is, oh, what's wrong with it? And niggas need to do that. And niggas, but nah, man, everybody who really moving and shaking, it's all good energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It is, man. And then, like I said, like we just got to get better at displaying that to the rest of the world. Like even with some of the young artists that's coming up, that's really doing their thing. The trap salves, you know what I mean? The 18 Peasies. Like AZ got a lot of heat from all different types of kinds of music. You know what I'm talking about? Like, but we all genuinely fuck with each other. You know what I mean? And wish each other success. And we just going we doing it. We gotta get better at showing that shit, that the cohesiveness that we have out here to the rest of the world. And like I said, you're gonna see us collaborating on a lot more projects. You know what I mean? Doing more content together, all of that shit to show that we pushing this AZ line for real, for real. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's a dope way to look at it. And it's fire that you in a position, you know what I mean, where you up there moving and grooving and doing your thing, and you having that mindset because that's gonna help bring motherfuckers together and uplift. A lot of times when a motherfucker get the torch, he'll try to run off and you know what I mean, act like he light years above the whole situation. But the shit take leadership.
Yeah, man. And that's just me really understanding that this shit is really, like traveling will humble you. You know what I'm talking about? Like you can think you the man in your city and you get out of town and niggas don't even know you breathe. You know what I'm talking about? Like let alone that you a dope ass rapper. So it's like what I look like trying to big dog niggas or hot siding on niggas. Like nigga, I'm still growing and learning. Like, yeah, I might have done more than you, my nigga, but you could do this shit too. And if you really want to, nigga, come over here and soak up some game and we can move. You know what I'm talking about? Like, Like I don't feel. I think that's weird. You know what I'm talking about? I wouldn't give a fuck if I was a multi-platinum nigga with, you know what I'm talking about, multi-platinum nigga. Man, let me fucking fly in here. A multi-platinum nigga, hundreds of millions, my nigga. Like, you know, the access to me might be a little different, but I'm still gonna be the same nigga. You know what I mean? If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. I'm going. If it's a resources that I have, like I don't feel like another nigga's light is gonna dim my light. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't have no problem with giving a nigga an alley oop, even if it's gonna push you a little further than me. Because nigga,
Yeah,
if you go a little further than me, you just gonna make the light brighter overall. You know what I'm talking about? Like we all winning. If one of us win, we all win. You know what I'm talking about? So we might as well win together. That's how I look at the shit. If niggas don't feel like that, you know, they got the wrong mindset or niggas is on goofball time. But me personally, nigga, if one of us blow, we all can have the opportunity to take that attention and do something with it. Look at Detroit, what happened after T Grizzly sparked that flame. Nigga, there's so many millionaire rap niggas in Detroit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, niggas might
facts.
not be hip to that scene, but a lot of motherfuckers is. There are so many. T Grizzly is not the only millionaire rap nigga from Detroit. There's so many millionaire rap niggas from Detroit. Some niggas that a lot of niggas never heard of if you're not really in tune with the Detroit music scene. But nigga, that's something that I see it could happen here. You know what I mean? One nigga do get a nice spark, and then now the national attention is here. They want to see if it's some other dope shit coming from around here, and that's when the niggas who really on their shit gonna get the opportunity to shine. You know what I'm talking about? Like you as long as you on
Yeah.
your shit and you doing what you supposed to be doing, you it's gonna pay off. You know what I'm talking
And,
about?
and you know the beautiful thing about Arizona, which every place don't have, they got cats out there from the Bay and cats from LA and Detroit and Chicago and New York, and they got a little bit of everybody from everywhere that's pushing. So you know when motherfuckers is working together, it's easier to take it. Like me right now, I'm in Oregon. My brother Trap, you know, he in AZ, but we Bay cats. But look,
Yeah.
we got right here, we got an Oregon, Bay Area, Arizona connection right now on the waves, putting out the message.
Yeah, and then again with that is you know because some niggas don't have that mentality. Some niggas come from their city and live here and goofily still want to try to rep their city. Like I don't know, but it ain't really about that. You know what I mean? Like we are lucky that we have a melting pot here. Yes, that we able to soak up game from other regions and apply it to our shit and in regards to us. But Arizona also has its own identity too. You know what I'm talking about? Like we really the wild wild west out here, and you know, us having our flavor and getting other pieces of flavor, like, but that's the same shit. Like you said, LA. If everything in LA, if they didn't ever evolve from just LA gang banging, you know what I'm talking about, we
Yeah,
wouldn't have got the you know all the different types of music that we get from LA now. You know what I'm talking about? Like motherfuckers who was incorporated out there too. That was somewhere that motherfuckers wanted to be. The same thing with all these other major cities. Motherfuckers in New York is not just New Yorkers. A lot of motherfuckers move there because that's where people wanted to be, or down south, or wherever it is. Like Atlanta, you go to Atlanta now, you barely can meet a nigga that's from Atlanta. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's just how it is when your city is a thriving city. That's Detroit in the 50s and 60s. You know what I'm talking about? Like nigga,
yeah.
my grandparents, my granddaddy moved to Detroit from Arkansas. You know what I'm talking about? When he
Hey,
was a little boy.
our people from Arkansas too. Not to
Yeah,
cut
to
you
go
off.
work in the plants type shit. Like that's what I mean. That's the way America is. When your city is thriving, people are gonna come from there and those people are going to help mold the culture of where you are because they live there now too. They bringing their pieces of their flavor in and incorporating it and mixing in, and these people having kids with these people and this kid, and that, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
just the way that it is. So again, it's just up to us to continue doing what we doing and to continue to come together and show the world that not only do we have some of the best talent in the world here, but you know what I mean? We ready for that national spotlight when it comes here. Our media is ready. You know, shout out Tone and shout out Real Riders Only. You know what I mean? Shout out Yogi in the late night. Like we got media platforms that are ready to discuss Arizona music and the artists from here on a national stage where people are gonna want to know about us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Like when once we get the people's attention and they want to know about us, they're gonna come to our media outlets to find out about us. You know what I'm talking about? Like you're not gonna be able to go to academics and find out more about Big Doobie than you're gonna be able to go to Two Tone Superstar and find out about Big Doobie. You know what I'm talking
Most
about? Like
most definitely.
so, you know, that's it's gonna go hand in hand. And then no matter what facet of the business that you're in, if you got your business together, you're gonna be able to ride the wave and help that motherfucker go too.
And most, shout out to Tone. Motherfucking Tone be getting motherfuckers excited and the whole shit. But I'm gonna give y'all some game right quick. I was on doing the college radio, and I told Tone, I hollered at Tone. I'm like, hey Tone, I'm about to go from college radio. I'm about to get the podcast popping. And Tone gave me the full playbook on how to do it and get it popping. You know what I mean? It wasn't no funny shit. It wasn't no gatekeeping or nothing. So, Tone be getting y'all excited, but much love to Two Tone. I'm always show him some love because he fucked with me.
Yeah, man, because that's niggas gotta understand that the internet is for entertainment. He has a job to do on the internet, but that doesn't mean this is who he is offline. You know what I mean? Like nigga, that's one of the good homies of mine. You know what I'm talking about? Like him and I like my sister. You know what I'm talking about? Like no matter what, the internet is like niggas let them ruffle their feathers and shit, but that's what they media. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
let the media be the media. That's what I be trying to tell niggas. Like niggas want to be too opinionated. Like let the media do the media thing. I don't be having no opinion on none of that shit. I don't give a fuck. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm here for shits and giggles. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm here for. Like if my name get into some shit that I gotta come and provide the shits and giggles this week, oh well, the shits and giggles is on me. But I'm not gonna get mad at them because they the ones relaying the message or they the ones that's reporting on what we doing as artists. That's their job. We're the fucking artists. What the fuck else is supposed to happen? Like who else gonna talk about this type shit? You know what I'm talking about? Like so
Yeah.
I never, you know what I mean? Like we need them. You know what I'm talking about? Like I don't know what niggas be on or what kind of feelings motherfuckers be having, but me personally, like I have a great rapport with all of Arizona media, just because I never see no reason to have no. I can't see myself beefing with a podcaster because of their opinion about anything I do. You know what I'm talking about? Like whether they like my shit or they don't like my shit, that's their opinion. What I look like? Oh, you don't like my song? I'm trash. I'm trash for your ass. You know what I'm talking about? That's how these niggas
hey,
be.
they be having a
Certified
real.
squishies. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas be so squishy. Like, oh, my shit trash. Fuck you niggas did. Like, I know you niggas gonna cry in the car. I know you niggas gonna cry in the car. You know what I'm talking about? So, but that's, I'm not cut from that cloth. Like, I'm an advocate for constructive criticism. So if you tell me it's something that you think I could do better, nigga, then I'm gonna listen to it and see if I can apply it. Whether I agree or not, I'm still gonna listen. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and niggas will be like, oh, they show favoritism and all that type of shit. Like, no, they keep it real with who keep it real with them. That's what I feel like.
And this how I look at it, man. They say niggas show a favoritism or niggas, oh, I'm doing this, and that. Hey, do something that make motherfuckers talk about you and put
Yeah,
you on a podcast. Go out and get in traffic, like we said, cause some commotion, on the way or whatever, and push your line and make somebody talk about you. You know what I mean?
yeah, and niggas don't even know. So like I said, 2019, I dropped my first song. January of 2020, I had a show. I think I opened up for Beanie Siegel. That was the first time I ever had met DJ I or seen her, and that was my very first Instagram post ever, and she was my very first comment ever with my very first like. Hey, I never seen you before. It was dope meeting you last night. You are a really good artist. I look forward to working with you in the future. Like she was really outside at the show, you know what I'm talking about? And I had never met her, but niggas don't even know she gave me my very first Instagram like and my very first fucking Instagram comment. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's how long she been really rocking with me since the day one. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and Tone, I've known Tone before rap, back in the DoobIe Boy days. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But is you know what I mean? Like, I don't I don't get it, you know what I mean? Like, but really these niggas love them. You know what I'm talking about? Let's keep it all the way a buck. These niggas really secretly love these niggas. You know what I'm talking about? They really be mad that they can't control them is what I feel like, but they
Yeah,
really
I
love them.
agree
You know
with that.
what
Like
I'm
I,
talking about?
I
They
fucked
can't control the narrative. They gonna do it their way, man. Let them niggas do their thing,
I'm
man.
gonna be honest with you. When Tone not on the net, when he go on his little hiatuses, shit kind of be turned down a little bit. You know what I
And
mean?
the reason being is that, and I don't know why, like, I don't know why. I don't know why the other Arizona media outlets don't really report on us as artists. You know what I mean? Like, they don't really report on us unless they're interviewing one of us type shit. You know what I mean? It's just what I noticed. Like, unless they interviewing us or some super wild crazy shit happen, they don't really report on like the day to day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like nigga, I just had this motherfucking article read up on me. Like, you came and you talked to me about the shit, but still though, like, nigga, this is Arizona shit. This is the perspective of somebody outside of our of us, of our in our Arizona bubble, what it looked like from the outside looking in, what this people's opinion is. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's dope for y'all to see that I'm representing us the right way, champion that shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I never tell niggas to post my shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm never in
yeah,
the nigga inbox, hey man, post this for me, go leave me a like, give me a comment. Like, I just don't feel like that's real. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if you see it, nigga, like my shit, comment, post my, share my shit, nigga, if you fuck with me. If you don't, then you don't. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna feel no way either way, but I'm not finna petition you niggas to do that shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I know how my shit gets seen. I see the eyeballs. You know what I'm talking about? I see who I see your little icon popping up under my views. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's all good. I'm an analytic nigga. I run my business. I'm watching all the numbers, every single thing, nigga. I watch it all, and I take in all the data. We using every bit of data to help us learn how to get more data. You know what I'm talking about? So, but I don't know. I don't know
yeah.
that.
It's going like I was reading. I snatched a book today on motherfucking audio book, and it was the power of positive thinking. I know that sounds corny to some motherfuckers, but even in these situations, like you said earlier, motherfuckers be so quick to, oh man, the Arizona, man, that two tone, like, man. At the end of the day, yeah, we talk shit and we vent or whatever, but man, let's focus on the positives of what's going on. Let's
Yes, man.
focus. Like, I'm sitting here focusing on the positive right now. Like, man, we over here, we tapping in on the podcast. We got Honcho tapping in, other motherfuckers seeing this, and that's a beautiful thing. Like, fuck all the motherfuckers that's on the negative vibes and all that other shit, because it's really so much money to get out here. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money and it's a lot of opportunities to get out here in the era we in. And if motherfuckers is mad that they ain't applying themselves and they need to step their game up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And you done a lot of work to do where you at. I done did a lot of work to be where I'm at, doing my thing and putting my work in and grinding. So motherfuckers that's upset, hey, ain't Two Tone ain't stopping them.
yeah.
DoobIe ain't stopping them. Flamingo Fred ain't stopping them. You could go out right now and go do anything you want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, and I just can't relate. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm not angry ever. I'm not upset. I'm in a great mood every day. Like, every day I get another day to go at it and get to this shit. So I don't have any, no matter what, and I deal with all kind of shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like all type of situations. There's always gonna be curveballs. There's always gonna be, oh my God, niggas wasn't expecting this to happen, but it happened. Okay, now what? It's always now what? You know what I mean? Like, is you finna sit here and whine and that ain't gonna fix that shit. I promise you. I promise you, no matter how mad you get, nigga, your anger level is not gonna change the situation. You know what I'm talking about? You have to change it. You gotta decide, okay, this is what the situation is. This is what my options are. How can I execute? You know what I'm talking about? Like, let's get to it. Ain't no time to be crying over spilled milk. And that's what a lot of niggas do. They cry over the spilled milk, man. Or me, shit, I'm just about to mop that shit up and keep it pushing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm never in a fucked up mood about none of this shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, no matter how stressful shit may get sometimes, or you know what I mean, whatever it may be. Like, I'm just getting started. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I still got the fucking fire of a nigga who just starting off. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
I'm fresh. You know what I'm talking about? So I haven't felt any kind of discouragement or none of that shit, nigga. I'm loving every minute of this shit. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, Trap Sauce in the building. Trap Sauce in the building.
Shout out my bro, man.
Trap.
Hey.
Hey, that track y'all dropped earlier today. That shit was fire.
Yes, sir. Big dogging, man, on all platforms right now. Go run that up, man. Checking traps, Big DoobIe, RNL, man. Big dogging.
Yeah, that shit was fire. Hey man, shout out Trap one time. He my big bro, man. He done did a lot of shit and paved the way, man. And that nigga Trap, man, with them bars is forever climbing. Trap
Yeah.
saying that slick shit, man. that
Yeah.
nigga Trap, man, is
He be
it's
talking
just
that shit. He
it's
be
it's
talking
just
that shit.
beautiful.
Supreme shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
that shit is beautiful. You know what I mean? So who is somebody you want to work with?
What you mean, like?
Like in general, from some production, from some a track to shit, a motherfucking movie, action movie with Steven Seagal.
Oh,
Somebody,
like dream list type shit?
yeah.
Sheesh. Like, in all actuality, like, I would, of course, love to get, I want, so, like, mine might be a little different. Like, I like Dame Grease as a
Mm-hmm.
producer. He did a lot of DMX early shit. He did a lot of Max B shit. I'm a big fan of Dame Grease. Of course, Dr. Dre, but in all actuality, on the West Coast, I would rather work with DJ Quick. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Mm,
that's my like dream. I'd rather, you know what I mean, get some work from DJ Quick. I feel like, Quick got that shit over there too. But I like, as far as artists is concerned, like, I don't know, my nigga. I'm gonna be all the way a being with you. Like, I don't really think about collabing with niggas. But every verse that I write it as if I'm on a song with my favorite rappers and I can't let these niggas embarrass me. So
mm,
maybe that's why, you know what I mean? Like,
that's
of
fire.
course, like, I feel like if I did a song with Wayne, I push that nigga to his limits. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah,
I feel like if I did a song with Kendrick, I can push that nigga to his limits. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he know I'm coming to take his head off, so you better spit some of the best shit you ever rapped in your life, because that's the type of shit I'm on. But I don't be like, man, I would want to make a song with these niggas. Like, no, I want to make a song that these niggas like and want to listen to, and tell me that that's some of the dopest shit they ever heard, more than I want to make a song with the niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I want Jadakiss to tell me that, nigga, that's supreme shit you talking right there. You know what I'm talking about? More than I want to make a song with the nigga. I don't give a fuck
yeah,
about making a song. Like, that's just how I really think. Like, I don't really give a fuck about making no song with you niggas, like, with no like, not for nothing like that, but that's just never. That's I don't make music like, you know what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah,
if a nigga want to make a song with me, they feel like I sound dope on some shit, or if I get a song that I feel like a nigga would sound dope on it, I'm more excited about that right now than thinking about, like, oh, nigga, if I could get motherfucking, you know, any celebrity nigga on a fucking song. You know what I'm talking about? Like, whatever I'm feeling that's gonna sound dope for right now, that's who I want to work with. But I
yeah,
don't have like no celebrity dream collab. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like that shit is lightweight, cheesy. Like, I don't give a fuck about making no. You know what I mean? Like, You know who I think would be dope though? Like if I made a song with Jeezy, I feel like that'd be dope. I feel like our
Mm-hmm.
sounds would match. You know, we can make a dope song, but even with that, I'd rather make a song that he likes so much that he just decide to put a verse on that shit that I can listen to later. Like I
Yeah.
don't really give a fuck about making. I just don't. That's just not. I just don't. You know what I mean? Like to me, that shit is just not a goal of mine. Like, oh, I gotta get a song with Dog. Like, for fucking what? Like, I wanna make. I'm dope, nigga. I'm dope enough. I can make some shit that's gonna make that nigga pay attention to it, you know, or he gonna want to hear it and listen to it and think that is dope too, if anything. But I don't really care. I don't really have no dream collab with no niggas. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel that. What's some of the next shit you got coming out?
So, we about to drop. So I dropped the biggest cactus in January, but I
Mm-hmm.
only released it on Even. So Even is the Proud to Pay site. I don't know if you're familiar with Even. It's a Proud to Play platform that allows fans to allow me to sell directly to consumer. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about? So I dropped the album in January, The Biggest Cactus, and I made more money off that album in 24 hours than 3 years worth of streams. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm.
Like my goal was to sell like 25 units. That's what I thought. Like, okay, if I can sell 25 this time, then my next time I could gear up and maybe hit a 50 ball. Next time after that, maybe hit 75 ball. My fourth one sell 100. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
structuring that shit out. But nigga, I sold like 70 something albums on this first one already. So you know, I'm a fucking
And it's EVEN.
yep, even.biz is the site, man. Shout out to LaRussell out there in the Bay. He gave me the game. And I just, you know, I geared all of my marketing and promotion towards the release on Even. All the content still was pushing everybody to Even, and you know I got a lot of love. I was very happy with the outcome. You know what I'm talking about, and it allowed me to build a database of my real fans that really spend money with me. You know what I mean? Like I had people spend $200 on my project. You know what I'm talking about? Like imagine niggas selling a tape for 200. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? Like I have a couple people pay 200, couple people pay a few people pay 100, a lot of people pay 50. But you can pay what you want, 10, 50.
Oh,
You know what
that's
I'm
what I
talking
was
about?
gonna ask you. Is it a set price or people could
Nope,
give
it's
what they
proud to
want?
pay. It's proud to
Okay.
pay. People can pay whatever they want to.
That's
So,
fire.
you know what I mean? And I just that was just the love that I got, man, and it did real good. So we're about to put the biggest cactus on streaming now. I'm gonna put that one on streaming in September, and then this song, My Boy, that I just dropped is really a part of like a 12 song project that I haven't decided how I'm gonna roll out. Maybe it's just some singles leading up to the release of the biggest Cactus 2 on Even. You know what I mean? Like that's what all roads is leading back to Even. So what I put on streaming now, the marketing and promotion I do is to still build the awareness and get everybody ready to come buy the biggest Cactus 2 when I drop it on Even. So that is definitely on what's next though, is putting the biggest cactus on streaming. We got a lot, we branding the big cactus. So we have a lot of, you know, we got new logos, new merch, all that on the way. Within the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be unveiling and releasing some of this new shit that we've been working on. So I'm really just building this brand up, man. Like continuing to work on Big DoobIe Entertainment as a brand and the Big Cactus brand. And taking this shit to the next level, man. Trying to, you know, we got millions on the horizon.
Yeah, most definitely, man. That's fire. Well, we're gonna wrap this shit up here soon because you guys could go all night, but we appreciate you tapping in, DoobIe. We're gonna get you back on this motherfucker soon. Hey, shout out everybody that slid through, you know what I mean, doing their thing, man. I look forward to all the shit you're doing. I'm gonna be watching and
Absolutely,
and participating.
yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, we locked in, family. We all the way
Yeah.
locked in.
All right, so man, you take care, loved one, and we gonna tap in again soon, man, to push your line, and we gonna keep this shit going, man. I see this shit developing, you know, from where we at all up and through this West Coast.
All right, family, appreciate you.
All right, much love. We out.
Yes, sir.